Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to see the second method, how you can mount your storage account. It might be your ADLS or blob to the Azure Databricks using a service principal. So I'm creating a new notebook called mounting by using a service principal. So let me click on create here. So in the first video we have seen how you can mount it by using a access key. This was the script. I'll be giving you the link for that documentation. So now I'll be using a same mount, like same container, same storage account by using a second method by using a service principal. So now let me unmount this first. Let me unmount it. So how to unmount it? So to unmount, you need to use db utils dot fs dot, you just say unmount and specify the path inside that. What is a path? So you give the same path that we have used to mount, so you can just copy this path. So this dbfs is optional, you can use this or you can skip that. Dbfs is optional. So let me unmount this, let me execute this. Yeah, so it will take a couple of seconds. The output should be true. It means that you have unmounted your storage account. Once it is unmounted, let us go with the second method, that is by using a service principal, and you can see it is unmounted. So now let us look at the second method. This is one of the most recommended method by Databricks as well as by Azure. But now if you look at the real time, now they are actually recommending the Unity catalog, but Unity catalog is something very advanced feature. Now we will discuss on that later on. Now let me just copy few scripts here. Yeah, so I'll be giving you the script, guys, don't worry. So you can see it is the same script as we have used for the access key, but here we are using some extra configurations. That configurations I have defined it here. So if you just look at the configurations, we are using an f string here. F string we have already used in Python, like it is using like a parameterized. So whatever out client ID or client secret and tenant ID, I am defining it here. Those values will be passed here. Okay, so I'm using an F string here. So I'll be using the container name, storage account name, client ID, tenant ID, client secret. We'll see how to get all this and pass this all in the configs. And similarly, if you look at this code here, so we are using abfss, that is, just now I have told you, like Azure file storage. Then yeah, I'll give you the link for this document also. Yeah, and it is asking you the container name. So I have not defined the container name. Yeah, I have defined the container name here. Then storage account name, it will come from here. And again it will, I am using a mount point with a storage account name, and then with the container name it will be coming from here. And then configs, it will pick up from here. In configs you need three things: client ID, client secret, and tenant ID. So how to get these three things? So we need to create an app inside your Azure account, that is Active Directory. Create an app and pull the details from here. So let me copy the container name quickly. The container name here is input container. So let me take an input here and pass it inside this container name. And it is asking you the storage account name. So let me take the storage account name and pass it over here. And now you need these three things. That's it. Nothing else. You need only these three things. Now you will be able to proceed with mounting. So how to get these three things? So you have to follow certain steps. For that I am giving you the document here. So I'm doing the same step. So first I am creating a service principal, Azure service principal. So how to create, I'm following the same steps. I'll go to Azure Active Directory, click on new registration, everything I'll be doing the same step. Okay, so I'll go to Azure account, go to the home page, and here I'll just open the Azure Active Directory. Yeah, Azure Active Directory. In that, I'll be creating a new app. You can see I'll be creating a new app registration. Let me click on app registration. I have already created few apps here, but let me create a new one and show you. So if I click on new registration, it will ask you for the name of that app. So let me use Databricks access, something like that, and click on register. So I am creating an app with a name called Databricks access. And if you just look at the few things here, overview, we need a client ID, that is also called as an application ID. Let me copy this, come to my Databricks account and put a client ID somewhere here. Okay, client ID is done. Then it is asking you the tenant ID, that is a directory ID. Let me copy this and paste it somewhere here. Okay, now we need a client secret. So if I just go back and if I use the secrets here, you can see certificates and secrets. If I click on that, it is like there are no client secret here. So to get a new client secret, you need to click on this and it will ask you for what reason do you want. So I'll just say a new name, suppose accessing, and it is asking you for expiry days. So by default and recommended is 6 months. Let me keep it 6 months and click on add. Here you need to be careful. Once you create an client secret, this will be only valid till you have this window. Once you get out of this window, you cannot access or you cannot get this value again. So you need to copy this securely and paste it in your Azure account. You can see I have pasted it. So I get the client ID, tenant ID, client secret. And if I execute this, just think, if I execute this and if I execute this configs, so it will just take a value from client ID, tenant ID and client secret, and extra configuration will run. If I run this, just think, will this container get mounted? No, I have created a third party app. I have created an app. Does this storage account give an access to the app? No, not yet. We have not given any access from our storage account. I'm not saying that your storage account is not given the access to the app. So let us give that access to the app called as a Databricks access. So you can find that in a same document here. So once you create a client secret, then you just scroll down, then you grant the service principal access to the ADLS Gen 2. So how to give it? You can follow the same steps. I'm doing it same. So let me come here. Let me go back to my home page and let me take a storage account and I want to give the access to the app from this storage account. So I'll use the access control. In the access control, I will add a new role. Once I click on this add a role assignment, and then I will search what you want to give. So I'll just give a blob contributor. So what does that blob contributor means? It gives or it allows, that app allows you to read, write, delete, all those things. You can just give a read access, just a owner access and so on, but I want to give it all. So I'm using storage blob data contributor and click on next. So once you click on next, it will ask you to whom do you want to give this? To whom? So let me click on the members and it will ask you to whom do you want to give this role. So I'll just give that app name. So app name is Databricks Access. If you remember, I have given a app name called Databricks Access. So click on that and you just click on select. And once you are done, you can click on review plus assign. Yeah, it will take few seconds to review, and once it is done, you can click on assign. Just a second. Yeah, so you can see adding a new role assignment. So now what we have done, I have given the access control, like storage account has given the access control to the app. and now we are using that app in your in your Azure Databricks. I have executed this. You can see I have executed this few minutes ago. Now let me run this config. Let me run this configuration and let me run this at the end. So you should get true here. If you get true, it means that you have mounted your storage account to your Azure Databricks. Once it is mounted, you can access all your files, directories which are there inside that container. Yeah, you can see here, guys, you got true. It means it has mounted. So in the previous video, we have seen like how you can list down the files. So let me show you. You write fs %fsls. You will list down all the files inside your dbfs. So we need to look at the mount point, and let me copy this and execute. So inside a mount point, you may see a file name called as a storage account name. That is my storage account name with a container name. So let me search quickly. Storage account name. My storage account name is shell adls. You can see there are two names. I mean there are two containers, so I got two names here. Yeah, you can see input container is your container name what we are searching for. Yeah, you can see in that you will have one file called as a baby names, and there are some parquet file just now we have written. So everything is fine till here. Yeah, I have mounted it. It looks good. Everything is fine. But I can say that, but hey, your all secrets have been compromised. If someone gets this secrets, everyone can, you can run this in your notebook and you can access my storage account. It is not safe. Then how to do that? So you can back up all your secrets in your Azure Key Vault. Now, how to do that? Let us proceed to an Azure and see how you can back all your secrets. So let me go back and write search for key vaults. I will be securely storing all your keys in this key vault. So let me create a new key. Click on create. So it is asking you to pick the Azure subscription. I have only one subscription, and it is asking me for the resource group. You can pick any resource group. I have one resource group with my name NLY. It is asking me for the name of this key vault. So I'll write for Databricks. Okay, let us check. Yeah, it is already taken. Let me take for Databricks key. Yeah, I can do that. I'll pick up a region. I'll use the pricing tier as standard. Everything I'll keep it as it is. And let me click on create plus review. And it will take few seconds to create a new key vault for you. Yeah, it has, let me review. Let me click on create. Yeah. So for Databricks key has been deployed. So your resource has been deployed, and let me go to the resource. Now it is asking you for the secrets. So let me click on the secrets here, and let me securely store all that in this. So I'll just generate it. I'll go for manual option and I'll give the names. So please look at this, guys. I'll pick up a name that is client ID and I'll store it here as a client ID. It doesn't accept the underscores. You need to remove it and just say client ID, and the respective secret for the client ID you need to fetch and paste it here. That's it. You need to create this. So you get a new name, client ID. Inside that you have that key. Okay. So let me create second one. That is your tenant ID. Let me copy this. Let me paste here. It doesn't accept underscore. Let me remove it. Let me do it quickly. Then copy this and click on create. Now let me create one more, the client secret. This is important, client secret, and you copy this and paste it here. Let me click on create. So once you got these three, now just think on, hey, you have an Azure key vault and you have securely stored all your keys in this. But how do I get this in your Azure Databricks here? So for that, Databricks is giving you one backed scope. So let me go to the documentation here. And if you just scroll down, yeah, Databricks is giving one UI that is called as a secrets create scope. So you need to copy this, and let me come to my Databricks. Let me open this in a new tab here. Yeah, and after the hash, you click on this URL. After the hash, you need to write secrets slash create scope. S is capital here, and click on enter. So once you click on enter, you will be getting one backed scope. Here you can create the scope. So now let me just write it here. This is keys. You can write any name. You can click on the manage principal. You can just say it is for all users or for the creator only. And now it is asking something called DNS name of Azure Key Vault. You can find that DNS name in your Azure Key Vault. So let me go back, go to the overview, and you can see this as your just a second, let me scroll down. Maybe you can find that somewhere in the properties. Let me go to the properties. And if you are thinking that can you do this secret scope in your community edition, no, secret scope cannot be done in the community edition. You need to have a premium account of Azure or AWS, then only you can perform that. So it is asking you for vault URI. You can copy this and you will paste it here. So it is same, you can see vault.azure.net. And for resource ID, let me go back again. You find the resource ID here. Let me copy this and you can paste the resource ID somewhere here. So once you have done, you have backed all your secrets, and you cannot compromise your secrets. Now you will not get any of your secrets. All is backed in this create scope. Yeah, let me create this. Yeah, it is saying that your scope keys has already exist. I think it has created, so I did not check on that. Now let me like, if I want to see, can you please tell me what are the secrets that are available here? So for that you have to use a dbutils dot secrets dot least scope. Just say least scopes, and let me check. It will list down all the scopes here. Yeah, you can see there are two scopes for us. One is raw that I have created earlier, and now I have keys just now we have created. So how to use that? So if I just copy this and I'll just write dbutils dot secrets, you can run help on dbutils.secrets.help. You'll get that. I'm using a dot get here, and here I'm using scope name, and your scope name is keys. And what is the key here? So key is, if I write client ID, so client ID I have defined it in your Azure Key Vault. If I execute this, it will show you that redacted. It means that you cannot get your key from here. But yes, you can pass this directly. You can pass this in your storage, in your client ID name. So let me go back, and instead of, okay, let me copy this now and create a new tab. Yeah, here I'll, instead of passing the hard coded value here, I'll just paste it. Sorry, I'll paste this value, that is dbutils.secrets.get somewhere here. So let me paste this here. Similarly, for tenant ID, let me copy this The key scope is same, but just the key is different. That is tenant ID. And for the client secret, again it is same. Let me remove this hard coded value and write a client secret here, secret. So before I execute this, I want to unmount this, because we are mounting it again by using a key vault here. So I want to unmount it. So how to unmount? So just now we have seen dbutils.fs.unmount, and I'll be using a path for that. The path is your this one. Your path is mount storage account name and the container name. So let me use this path and let me paste it here. Let me execute. Yeah, we got true here. It means that your storage account has been unmounted. Now let me just go back and now start executing this. Now your keys are, you cannot see any of your key. Now you can run this safely. You can execute this. Once you have executed this, then you can run the extra configs. So it will fetch the data from there. And once you run this, now you should get a true output, because it will mount it without revealing any of your secrets. I hope you enjoyed this session, guys. I hope you like this video. So if you like it, please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends. You can see you got true here. Thank you for watching with this video. Keep learning.